Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Final Fantasy. Without further ado, let's get into the pack one pick one. We got a pretty sweet rare here with Cecil Dark Knight. If you can flip this card is insane, turning into a 4/4 lifelinker for only 1 mana, but it is a bit of a double-edged sword up front. 2/3 Death Touch that keeps shooting you in the face every time it deals damage. So there's some risk to this card. The best way to play against this card is to just let it hit your opponent down to 10 and then respond by killing it with instant speed removal before it flips. So you do have to watch out for that from your opponents, but it is still a 1 mana 2/3 Death Touch even if you never flip it and you just hold it up on blocks. So the rate is worth the life loss for sure. To the point where it is the strongest card in this pack. Second strongest, likely the Fire Magic, really nice for controlling decks if we wanted to head that route, but we'll start with the fun rare and see what we can do with it here, starting with Cecil. Pick 2, Solid Follow-Up. Vane's Treachery is a great efficient removal spell in the same color as our good rare, so we can take that here. There are other reasonable options, like a great counterspell with Swallowed by Leviathan, great card draw with Dreams of Laguna. I do think the blue spells are the second best spot to be here, but we'll take Treachery. For pick number 3, now the black spells are pretty filler, Ahriman and the Furrier. I do like Ahriman, so I think that's good filler, and then the Furrier is bad filler. So it wouldn't be insane to take Ahriman here, but I think it's better to go for White Mage's Staff, which has a lot of great equipment and artifact synergies, and the Queen here, which is good if you can get unblocked attacks in, which is a little difficult, but if you're a removal-heavy deck, like maybe a Rakdos Black Mage, Rakdos Wizard strategy, you can get a lot of work done with this card. So I'm going to take the Queen here. Pick 4, there's a Heck Dies sticking to black here, one of the best cards in this pack, and it sticks with our main color we care about. We're certainly not married to red here, just speculative. So a pick 5 Sleep Magic does make us move towards blue, I feel. This is definitely better than the Queen. It's really efficient removal, unless your opponent can ping their own creature, which I've seen happen maybe one time in the 50 drafts that I've done, so it's just super efficient removal. The stuff that it can't do is it can't deal with these, the triggered and passive abilities on the creature, so if you're putting it on a Saga creature, it's still going to do all the chapters, but overall this is still a very good, very efficient removal spell. Dreams of Laguna, again, has been very good card draw, so that card's also great, but Sleep Magic just a little bit better. The one thing that we need to be worried about taking the Sleep Magic here when we are playing black is that it is a nombo with the Cornered by Black Mages. If we cast a Sleep Magic and then make our opponent sack a creature, they'll just sacrifice whatever we put to sleep. Alright, blue-black looking like an infinitely better place to be than red-black in this draft pod, so goodbye Queen. We grab an Ultimecia and we lock in here. Great pickup. Excellent finisher for this deck. Really fun to flip it, get your extra turn. I've done that actually a lot more than I thought I would in the set. Here's an Ahriman, but blue and black are pretty controlling colors with a good chunk of card draw, which means that they splash pretty well. So I don't think it's crazy to just speculate on the blue-red fixing here. And we could at least splash in a little bit of red removal, like some Thunder Magics or something. But then if we open up a great blue-red rare or blue-red uncommon, we could also splash that. I'm going to go for the Baron here and get the blue-red dual land. Pick 9. The Trader also mildly enables splashes. It's a filler splash enabler basically with that treasure production. Sure. Pick 10. Very filler flyer. Nothing else for us here. We'll let the green players get their mana dork. Guado Salam could get us the splash towards green instead if we open a Sin or something. It's also splashable playing a blue-black control deck, just dabbling in green for a bomb rare like that. Should take Merchant here over the pot. Both are pretty unlikely to make the cut. And we'll see what we've got in pack number 2. We've got the Fire Magic we could splash in. That's honestly a very reasonable splash. None of the tiers require more than a single red mana, and this can be your little board wipe to keep you in the game, sometimes even a one-sided board wipe if you've got a beefy creature. It's between that and an Evil Reawakened, which is much better in black-green than blue-black. We've got one Ultimecia that's particularly exciting to reanimate. Yeah, I like fire magic here. We're definitely playing a lot more in the control realm of things where fire magic plays super well, even off the splash. Come on in. Pick 2 now. There is that cornered by black mages. We'll lean towards overkill over it here because of the sleep magic nombo. If this were a worse removal spell, trying to think of one, maybe like an ice magic or something, probably still take cornered by black mages and just hope not to draw the two together because they're both individually quite good and better than ice magic, but overkill is pretty excellent, so we can take it over a cornered by black mages here. One thing that is kind of funny and worth noting is that one of the few ways that your sleep magic can get blanked is if somebody casts a fire magic, because this does a damage to everybody, which will wake up whatever is under the sleep magic. So we gotta hope our sleep magic card is small enough to die to the 3 damage or whatever it ends up being. I don't think this is a good Vial Smasher deck, but also I'm not excited about a second trader, and there's nothing in blue. This is just not a great pack for us here. Torgal's the best card by a lot. That's kind of the only exciting card in this pack for anybody outside of Vial Smasher, but we're getting rid of that. Pick 4, there we go. There's a Hecdize or a Trino. Those are both great pickups. I do like the Hecdize. Gets you your 1-for-1 worth of value immediately, making your opponent discard a card. And then it's just a little roadblock to buy some time keeping the game longer. I think it's worth taking over the duel. Pick 5. Second Ultimisia is very cool. Yuffie's also cool. Commander Ninjutsu, a Yuffie out picking up a Hecdize? I wish I could resist, because I'm probably supposed to take Dreams of Laguna here, but I can't. Yuffie's one of my favorite characters, and I loved ninjutsuing back Virus Beetles in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty draft, and you can do that with Hecdize with Yuffie here. Attack with a Hecdize, they don't block it, pick it up, hit them with Yuffie, draw a card off Yuffie, recast Hecdize, and make them discard a card. It is disgusting. So we'll try to do that here. Draft Hecdize incredibly highly now. Even Marlboro works for that same synergy, although we'd hit them less hard. Because we're picking up a 4-power creature for a 1-power creature, but it depends on what we reveal after we damage them. Maybe we'll reveal a 6-mana card and hit really hard. And luckily, while we did pass up on good blue card draw, we found good black card draw with Resentful Revelation still. Pick 8, we get a Trino here, which is why, well, not the right words, which makes me happy that I took a Hecdize over to Trino earlier, because I still get one here. Another Trader, not splashing in Laughing Mad. Laughing Mad's reasonable when you're red at the core of the deck in one of these Grixis control kind of piles. Alright. We cannot justify not running Cornered by Black Mages just because we have 1 sleep magic. But I'm definitely not drafting any more like Stuck in Summoner Sanctums or anything like that. Other enchantment-based removal spells. Alright, come on, pack 3, show me some more Hecdize. No Hecdize in this pack. We have a Shiva or a Sephiroth's Intervention, which is a very difficult choice. These are both excellent, excellent cards. Sephiroth's Intervention is probably better for this deck. Just the targeted removal that also gains life and kills whatever we need. Alternatively, I've got 1 Guado Slum. I could try to splash Traveling Chocobo, but that can't be better than just the Intervention here. Yeah, I love me a Shiva. Don't think I can take Shiva over Intervention in this dedicated control build. Pack 3, pick 2. There's a Hecdize! But it's in the same pack as a Cornered by Black Mages, a Counterspell, even a Sahagin. Oh boy. God, this pack is insanely good for us. I would be happy with any of these cards showing up here. Even Emperor of Palmesia off the splash wouldn't be insane. We'll go bonus sheet all day. Come on in, counterspell. Now I can take a Hectize super freely. There's nothing it's really competing with. Maybe a Flan. But there we go. Now we are triple Hectize with our Yuffie. That seems reasonably consistent. Here's some memories returning, which is great. Wow, this was a good blue-red pod too. A second Emperor of Palmesia. But this is incredible card draw. It's a 4-mana draw 3, where you always draw the best card in your top 5 among those 3 cards, and then you get to flashback it as well, and you're pretty guaranteed to be drawing at least 1 land off of this to help get to that 9-mana flashback to draw even more cards later. Memories Returning is just awesome. Wow. The dream blue-red pod, that's so sad. That's so sad for us. I'm literally 1 card into red, and I have really high card quality in just blue-black here, so I don't think Shentoto Splash is necessary at all. Especially considering I don't actually have that many 4-mana value or higher spells here. 1 Memories Returning, 1 Intervention. A Revelation Flashback. Yeah, I'm just on Syncopate here. Hack 3, pick 6. I still think I want to splash Fire Magic. So this is a reasonable Baron pickup. Sahagins fine. Sahagins fun. But again, I don't actually have that many 4-mana value or higher non-creature spells. I think I'll just take the fixing here and make that more consistent. Ice Flan is also reasonable here. Most decks, you just don't really care about it. I think it's pretty mid most of the time. But if you have some other reason to care about it, if you have some reanimation where cycling it, putting it in your grave helps, then that's nice. Or if you have cards that specifically care about having some really high mana value stuff like Yuffie, then it goes up in value. So since we have Yuffie, it'd be another 6-drop we can hit off the top. Okay, pick 8. I'm not splashing in Garland. We need double red to reanimate that. It's not happening. Could try to Ether or Sorceress of Schemes. Ether's just too narrow for my tastes. Probably not playing all these merchants, though. Shiva Wield. Magical Christmas Land. Hectize Wield. Alright, I was preemptive when I said Magical Christmas Land. We were on our way there, and then we made it all the way there. We wheeled the Hectize and the Shiva. Jeez. Okay, I have 3 duels here. I have an Ultimisa. I should probably play the Self-Mill. This is 24 non-land cards, so we do adjust the deck a little bit here. Okay, reinforcements could be interesting. Maybe that's the only thing in the sideboard that looks particularly interesting here. Okay, Nulis, we just want 4 Hectize. 4 Hectize and a Cecil for 1 mana and 2 mana plays. Merchant or reinforcements could be a cut. And then technically the Flan is a reasonable cut, but I want to make Yuffie as strong as possible. So any game that we draw Yuffie, we're super happy. So Hectize, Ninjutsu, Yuffie, hit them and hit a 6-drop. That's the dream. That's the absolute dream. Alright, let's just cut 2 of these. I've got a lot of instants and sorceries here that I can cast to fill my graveyard up for Ultimisia. Plus only the 1 copy of Ultimisia. I don't think I really want the dedicated self-mill here. We'll just take the Merchant instead for draw and discard, which also is sort of filling the grave. Turn over turn. Yeah, this deck looks fun. Ninjutsu, Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty nonsense here. I want to draft that set again. Please give us flashback drafts of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. That said, I've been really loving Final Fantasy, and if it's anything like Lord of the Rings, they're not going to bring it back for flashback drafts because of like IP licensing reasons or whatever. We've never gotten Lord of the Rings as a flashback draft on Arena, So, because of that, I might just not play the flashback drafts this time around so I can get as many Final Fantasy drafts in as I can before they're gone forever. Just in case they're going to be gone forever, like Lord of the Rings drafts. But if they brought back Kamigawa Neon Dynasty for flashback drafts, I would at least live stream some of those, even if I don't do a video. I will definitely draft it. Anyways, let's adjust the mana base a little bit, I think. This is probably right. I'm on 8 black sources and 8 blue sources, and I have an island cycler and a swamp cycler. It's kind of a 9-9 split here, and then still getting access to 4 of my splash color. Yeah, that looks good to me. This looks like a fun deck. Very excited to see how it does. So without further ado, let's just get into that gameplay. Alright, here we are for game 1. Let's draw Yuffie. And Ninjutsu or Hectai's back. Come on. We gotta do the thing. They would have to not block also, which is not currently looking super likely. Okay, we drew a 2-mana draw spell. I'll play that instead, because Hectai's doesn't really affect this board. Whoa. 3 good spells? I think I take Ultimecia here. Because next turn I get to hold up a Syncopate and Overkill if I don't. And I guess I don't have like a 4-mana play on this curve. I still like the Ultimecia here when I'm milling 2 right now. I guess my 4-mana play is Hectai's and a 2-mana Syncopate. Maybe. They are curving out on us here. Okay, 4-mana play is Hectai's. Let's go. So this turn is Syncopate or Overkill. So we'll see what they cast. And then Overkill in the end step. Alright, they cast nothing. Here's Overkill. Get rid of the flyer. It would be very bad to target the Chocobo. Not only could they sack it and draw a card, but I'm about to play 2 Hectai's, which I can double block a Chocobo with and be perfectly happy. Drawing Sephiroth's Intervention does give us that option as well. I could just hold up Sephiroth's Intervention and Syncopate. But these give me the blocks for the Chocobo, and then drawing the Sephiroth's Intervention also gives me the option of like, well, if they resolve a really scary threat next turn, well, I've got the removal for it regardless. This is the kind of deck, the 4 Hectai's deck, I would hate playing against this deck. This is the hypocrite dot deck right here. Chocobo has been dealt with. Now there's a 3-4. Sure. There's a 4-5 to block that. And we can stun whatever creature matters the next couple turns and then draw a card. I would be very happy to see them use removal on a Saga. So we lead with the Saga over the Ultimecia, because we haven't forced them to use any removal yet. We've just played 1/1s. Yep. That is very good work from Shiva. Slow them down here and eat up a Chocobo kick. A mana from having a Syncopate for 1? I don't even think a Syncopate for 1 is going to be helpful at this point, because they have 4 mana for Intervention plus 1 for a treasure, so if they're going to have removal for Ultimecia, they're going to have removal for Ultimecia, regardless. Yeah, like, if I had it for 1 right now, they still have that treasure. Sure. Still get our Surveil. I do need a 7th mana for Revelation. So I like both these draws. The fact that this is a tap land is awkward for me, but keep them. Corner by black mages next turn, and then hold these two up and play a tap land. Alright, they're going to surveil too. It's actually probably decent for me. That keeps them farther away from the Resentful Revelation now, without the treasure for it. They kept both on top, so here come good draws for our opponent. We also kept both on top. It all balances out. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Saz's Chocobo is not actually very good this late in the game. Not particularly scared of that. I'm not even going to intervention it, honestly. They just kept Chocobo land here? Sure. Hello there. Goodbye, your hand. Unless it's instant speed removal, then they get to kill the Maulburrow with it. Okay, didn't do anything. It's just a combat trick. So get rid of the combat trick, exile some lands. That's unfortunate. I want them to draw lands. Hey, they still do. They are super flooded over there. Here's the Rev. Draw one. I definitely have to hold up Syncopate here at this point. Cannot tap out for the Revelation. Syncopate for 3 if I kill Chocobo right now. Yeah, I'm not into it. Wanderings, try to make it super big. You got it. I guess we'll kill the Chocobo then, and keep the Syncopate. It was just a major Chocobo buffer. Not an additional threat. I think I have to beat up this clock. Heck dies, no discard. Rip. Evil. It's been reawakened. We definitely cast this for lethal. 1 damage from lethal, I miscounted. Oh, it's still lethal if Yuffie hits anything off the top. Come on, we're doing the thing. Go, Yuffie, go. Yeah, she revealed the Heck dice too. It's the synergy. Nice. All right, we are 1-0 heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2. We are going to be sad when we draw a corner by black mages this game, but it's a good start. Green-white, there's the staff. I think I play a 2-drop now so that I can go 1-drop, 2-drop next turn. Get around my problem real quick by just drawing that here. I only have the one corner by black mages, so if I cast it before the one sleep magic, then the nombo never happens. Probably playing another creature here, and then we just kill the 2/2. Cat. Yep, we're killing a 2/2 for sure. Let's sleep magic the cat next turn. We're probably taking 3 damage. Going to 15. Indeed. There's a lot of equipment. Got an overkill as well. But I'm going to do the discard while they still have cards in hand. Goodbye, Primal Garuda. Vanille. I kind of forgot they're green-white because they're just like mono-white equipment so far. I was thinking like red-white or black-white are the usual decks for that. Ew, Vanille can pick up Auracite? Not once in my life have I considered Vanille in a green-white deck. But that's clutch. The fact that Vanille can pick up an Auracite is pretty gnarly. Treachery plus overkill. That ward is a problem. I can't cast both of these because of the ward. They're both hitting for 4. So I just do the more expensive ward payment right now. But I will have to sack something to Treachery in order to be more mana efficient. But we can sack a Act Dies. Might even be able to stun Vanille here if we hit a land. Perfect. They Auracite the Flan. Seventh land would be beautiful. Cast Ultimecia, hold up Treachery. Ooh, exile the sleep magic. I see. Get a little spicy with it. There's a gourmet. Well, now I cast Ultimecia, hold up Treachery. Take an extra turn next turn. Just need 8 in my grave. I've already got 5. This will be 6, 7. After Treachery, that'll be 8, 9. So I can take an extra turn without even losing Revelation. I do need 8 mana though, so I'll have to top deck a land too. When I have to reveal those to the grave regardless to get to the 8 cards. Okay, how are we blocking here? I'm gonna Vane's Treachery the cat. I need to be on full defense here. If I Vane's Treachery the cat, I still need something big on the ground to block Vanille without losing Ultimecia. I have to Treachery right now to get around the ward. That's a snap block. Nom nom nom. Unfortunate. That is not land 8 for the extra turn. They have 8 mana. They can spend 4 for the Paladin's Arms Equip to make that a 4/4. Plus 3 for Staff, make it a 5/5. Plus 1 for Fragments, make it a 6/6. I'm gonna have to chump block with my Mage if I play Revelation, but it's better than just playing a 1/1 chumper. Just guaranteeing the land here. Oh, the memory's returning. And I can flash that back later. Oh, but that's so good. I'm taking memories returning. Play a chumper and a memories returning at worst next turn. Then I can use this to hit the land. So land extra turn, Sephiroth's Intervention up. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. That should be pretty locked here. If they don't top deck something crazy like a Dion or something. I guess if they top deck Blitzball, we're dead. White Mage's Staff is fine. It is very good with the frog. Get the bonus frog. Bold swing. I honestly think we take this because we're about to get astronomically large amounts of damage if we keep the wizard. Take 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorceress Games is pretty wild here. One, 2, 3, 4. Schemes courted by black mages, I think, is reasonable. It is safer to just hold up the Sephiroth's Intervention, though. Get some life gain as well. I guess if they don't block here, they're just dead, so they have to double block, and then I can Intervention their last creature. Opponent chooses death. Right, because do this. They're at 2. 1 mana. Okay, not quite dead. Alright, we just hold on Intervention then. Trumpet and Intervention should really seal it for us. Because I can, again, schemes back accorded by black mages for another wizard and use those chip points of damage even if they find removal for Ultimecia. And then even if they have removal for the blocker here and they do that, Sephiroth's Intervention puts us to 5, so it would have to be really cheap removal to be able to kill our blocker and also move enough equipment to hit us for 5 if we kill the biggest one. Did they hit removal for Ultimecia? They did not. That is 2-0 heading into game 3. All removal all day with this hand, but that's kind of the deck. We will keep it. Got all 3 of our colors. It's got the double black. Saz's Chocobo on the play. You're on the draw, you're just fire magic. Would have been really cool. But I can still treachery it. Oh, how I wish. How I wish we were on the play. Fire magic deal 2 to everybody. Yeah, this would be their board state, and then we'd go land fire magic 2 to both. Jeez. Alright, well. Fire magic is still likely to be good later. Wanderings make it 3 toughness. That's not what I want to see. At least they're not putting another creature out yet. And then whenever they do, they're just ramping into something massive, so we just overkill that one. In fact, I'm probably supposed to play an untapped land because of that. So far, our draws have been exclusively lands. Ignis? Sure. Dies with 6 mana fire magic. It's awkward. Oh god. There's the Esper Origins. For a 4/4 that draws another card and then overruns the whole board. +2/+2 trample to everybody. All of the threats they've played so far have been individually like 1 threat at a time. So if I had an equivalent amount of removal spells as they've had threats, we would be perfectly fine, but we're a little flooded here. So this is sketchy, but I think I just need to be stopping damage. I can't wait for 6 mana on the draw here. That is every single draw a land still so far. Now here comes the 4/4 Esper Origins. Draw another card, gets a 1/1. Ochu. Alright, our 5th draw of the game's our first non-land. Does something. But we're dead really, really soon at this point. Fire magic could go real hard here if they just play 3 toughness and less cards. They only have 2 cards left in their hand. Does Ochu just kill me? 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 5, that's 12. 4, 5, 6, 7. 12. Does not kill me, so we take it. It's gonna be 1 life and a dream here. I can't lose the fire magic when I can clear the whole board with it next turn. Oh. This is going to be the world's most stressful game at this point. The 1/1 town greeter is a lethal threat. Ugh. The 1/1 Gubu Gardener, also a lethal threat. Absolute classic. Draw the Syncopate turn 7. I have to Sephiroth's Intervention. I can't Ice Flan. Or I'm dead to removal. I mean, I could Ice Flan, but they just go removal spell on the Flan and I'm dead, and they haven't played any removal spell all game. So that just feels way too risky. I have the Sephiroth's Intervention. Yikes from McSpikeys. And then my Syncopate's probably useless. Syncopate for 2 this turn. Okay, Syncopate for 1 is even less useful, but what are you going to do? They removal spell the Flan, but I still stop the Greeter for a turn. Dark Confidant at 26 life. Ay, ay, ay. One to block the 2/1. Counter unless they pay 6. I need to put life total pressure against the Dark Confidant. As sketchy as it is at 2 life. What do you got? Fat Chocobo. For trample on everybody and 2 more threats. This is the first draw. All right, well. Yeah, we're dead no matter what we do. That's what happens when the first 4 draws of the game are lands after you keep a 4-lander. I think that was kind of predetermined for us, sadly. And 2-1 it'll be heading into game 4. Solid hand here. We've got all our colors. We have the turn 3 1-mana sleep magic 2-mana creature play again. It's pretty great. Drawn to an overkill. Oh boy. Let's go card advantage here. Get a memories returning. Those are all great options. There's the town greeter from our opponent. Which I will not sleep magic. I'll just play the 1/1 to trade off into their 1/1. You gotta love the Heck Dies Town Greeter, perfectly balanced. I'll play a 1/1 and draw an island. I'll play a 1/1 and get rid of your island. Lock Coal. Syncopate for 0, let's go. I have 1 copy of Cornered by Black Mages in this deck. And I'm stuck on mana right now. I think I have to just sleep magic this. If we draw a corner by black mages, I will cry. Oh no. Don't do this to me, Arena. Go from the draw 4 lands in a row to draw 4 non-lands in a row. Just lose to the 2 different ends of the mana spectrum. I only have counter unless they pay 2 because I am not drawing lands. So Trader resolves. This is wild. I'd rather cast Hectize than hold up a Syncopate for 2. Because if they play it safe, it's pretty easy to play around the Syncopate here when we're on 3 lands total. Oof. The worst part is they had the 2. Even if I had all my mana up, I couldn't counter that. Alright, I haven't been counting well, but that's at least 4 draw steps of no lands. So we literally went the 2 different ends of the mana spectrum here. This has been brutal. Let me Syncopate for 1 while they have like 9 lands on board. They have 8. I miscounted. I'm 17 cards deep. I get to Behemoth the Sleep Magic and unlock their lock cold. Oh man. Kind of feel like I need to play Merchant so I can start drawing and discarding towards lands. I honestly don't see how I am even close to having a chance at this point. I mean, I've got the removal to kill the 7/7, and the removal to kill the 4/4, so that's a start. But now Lock Coal's unlocked as well. Pun intended. Oh. 18 cards deep, we drew 3 of our 17 lands, and now I have to Swamp Cycle Malboro. Look at all these! Where's the rest? There they are! Woo! I'm just gonna look at them and be sad. Yeah, missed the intervention mana, so we're taking a giant trample hit from Behemoth, and that's probably game. If I didn't hit literally like natural land there to intervention Behemoth, we're pretty dead here. That is just wild. Keep the Cecil on the board for a flashback treachery. Any combat trick kills me, just do it. Or counter spell. There's 7/6 trample. Yeah, I mean, I think the matchup is winnable, but our draws these last two games have been absolutely brutal. Arena really not liking us winning a couple games there. It's like, we need to nerf this deck. That is 2 and 2. Just mana being mana, magic being magic. 2 and 2 head into game 5. All right, here we are for game number 5. What could be the last game of Magic if Arena decides that it shall be the case. Our last two games were pretty unwinnable due to just two different ends of severe mana issues. I think I keep this. We're on the draw, one land to combat tutorial, and then we're off to the races. But obviously, we've seen in these last couple games, unlikely things can happen. We might be at a 50-50 to draw land pretty much every turn here, but we could miss like 5-6 turns in a row like we did last game and then just lose. We'll see. We'll see. Double Tonberry to start off? Well, that's horrific. At least we did hit a land here, so we know we can combat tutorial. But we're going to take 4 a turn with no good way to block first striking, death touching Tonberries. This hand awkwardly has all of our counter magic and not our removal for onboard threats. The Tonberries are getting in for now. If I hit our fire magic, we win this game hard, though. We can kill both the Tonberries for 1 mana, which is obviously pretty gnarly for our opponent. We definitely need to do some digging here. As much as I would like to hold up a Syncopate, we gotta dig for some solutions to what's already on the board. These are not solutions. In fact, it's not even an island. An island would also be really important to get to our counterspell and memories returning. Okay. That is a solution to 1 Tonberry at least. But I'm getting horror flashbacks to last game. This time I even cast a draw 2 and I'm over here. On my 3 lands. Alright, they're stuck on mana too. We get rid of a primal load in there. Self-destruct is not that bad. I don't really care much about the heck dice. It's not like it's doing any blocking against first strike death touch regardless. Aww. You're late, fire magic. You were supposed to show up before I killed the first Tonberry. Take another 2 to be a lot more mana efficient here and do some digging for my mana with this merchant. This also gives them an opportunity to play a 2 or less toughness card. That's 3 toughness. Oh my god, Arena. 15 cards deep right now. I'm not as deep as I got last game. Yeah, Cecil's a pretty monumentally big problem. I only need to draw 1 removal spell to deal with it, but we don't have it right now, and I don't have the mana to cast my card draw. 4th land would deal with it because we could Sorcerer's Schemes. Oh no, we only played 1 enchantment-based removal spell this game. I guess if they block Heck Dies, I can kill it. Fire magic here. They have 2 cards in their hand. What if I play another Heck Dies, draw and discard off Merchant to try to hit land 4? Do a little chump here. Dig for that removal. My god. Yeah, I'm double checking the counts. I'm on 17 lands and 2 land cyclers. The land cycler, not the land, but that's the thing. Kind of feel like I still have to just play Heck Dies though, right now. Syncopate's just gonna be garbage, period. Counterspell at least is just 2 mana counter anything, period. So it will still be useful later. I do have the Island Cycler to know I'll be hitting the second blue eventually. But I don't think I can afford to just get it right now. Yeah, we'll Heck Dies. Not at 10 life, taking 4 on board. This is instant speed. So I can block and then fire magic. I can do that with the other Heck Dies though, so let's scoop up some damage, or soak up some damage. Oh man, double Evil Reawakened. Cool. 4th land was the 17th card in the deck. And we only drew 1 removal spell? Just Sleep Magic? Well, this draft was about as astronomical of a bummer as you can imagine. But I really don't think there was a lot we could do. We just drew terribly 3 games in a row, mana-wise. I chump there and take 4. I've already played land for turn, so I can't Memories Returning and try to hit a mountain or anything like that. Well, we're dead to them top deck and removal. If I draw removal for Cecil, we are still slightly in this game. I hate that I have to tap out a counterspell to fire magic here. I cannot afford not to, though. Please just have it land this turn. Of course not. And that pings me off of every land, too. That ain't removal for Cecil. So we go to 4 life. They draw 2. They find removal for Ultimecia. We're dead. If I schemes back fire magic, I'm tapped out a counter spell, so that can't be right. Yeah, it's just play Ultimecia and hope they don't top deck removal in the top 3. Why wouldn't they? 2 and 3. I think this deck was really good, but no deck can really win with draws like that. That was an incredibly disappointing draft. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say. That's Magic for you. I am incredibly bummed out because that was entirely mana issues, 3 games in a row, which can happen to literally any deck. This was a really fun one, Heck Dies Yuffie shenanigans, and we just didn't even get to play Magic, really. Yeah, brutal. 17 lands, 2 land cyclers, I guess, is too much in one game, and then nowhere near enough the next two, and that's 3 losses in a row, all due to mana for a 2-3 run. But that's a part of Magic. That can happen to you. That can happen to you at a pro tour. That can happen to you in an arena open. I guess at least it just happens in a random premier draft, but I'm super sad I didn't get to play with this deck some more. I'm probably actually just going to add this to my decks so that I can play it with friends that have their own draft decks that they've drafted. That way I can get the games in that this deck deserves. Yeah, this isn't perfect. It's not always a 7 winner or anything, but those were just brutal losses. I don't think it deserved at all. Yeah, the Heck Dies Yuffie combo is really fun and actually pretty solid if we ever draw into that. We have decent win cons, with Ultimisia being the main one and Marlboro, and then a little bit of maybe Black Mage damage coming in or Yuffie damage coming in. These kinds of control decks do not need a lot of win cons, so just a couple of random filler 6-drops and an Ultimisia is already enough there. It could use a little bit better interaction, just a little bit more interaction overall. Like if instead of Merchant and Flan we had like 2 more pieces of cheap removal, then I think the deck would be about perfect. But there's really not a lot to complain about here. In terms of the deck's quality, it just hit some miserable draws. Yeah, 6 great removal spells, including one that's a full-on board wipe, 2 counter spells, that's 8 pieces of great interaction, 3 pieces of card draw, and the flashback spell to double up these removal spells in the late game. This looked super, super reasonable, but the mana does not always work out for you, and that is 2 and 3 for today's draft. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in a recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.